Imagine for a moment that everything you struggle with, every fear, every self-doubt, is not just a barrier to overcome, but a map guiding you toward your true purpose. What if the key to discovering who you are and what you're meant to do lies hidden within the very parts of yourself you've tried to ignore, suppress, or deny? Today, we'll dive into one of the most profound and transformative ideas in psychology and philosophy, Carl Jung's theory of the shadow. But this isn't just about abstract concepts or intellectual musings. It's about unveiling hidden truths that have the power to reshape your life. By the end of this exploration, you won't just understand your shadow. You'll see how it holds the key to your purpose, your potential, and your deepest freedom. And perhaps most intriguing of all, we'll uncover a final revelation, one that could change the way you see yourself forever. Carl Jung, a trailblazer in depth psychology, described the shadow as the unconscious part of ourselves that we reject or disown. It is made up of the thoughts, feelings, and impulses we deem unacceptable, qualities we bury because they don't fit the image we present to the world. Yet, in a powerful paradox, the shadow also contains the seeds of our greatest strengths and the blueprint for a life of authenticity and meaning. Consider this. How often do we suppress uncomfortable feelings or avoid thoughts that challenge our self-image? How often do we judge others harshly, only to later realize we're rejecting something familiar within ourselves? If you've ever felt an intense emotional reaction to someone else's behavior, there's a good chance they've touched a hidden part of your shadow. As Jung himself observed, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. What if, instead of running from your shadow, you turned toward it? What if within your darkest corners lay the light you've been searching for all along? The shadow isn't just about darkness, it's about potential. It's about the energy we bury because we're too afraid or ashamed to face it. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there parts of yourself that you try to keep hidden from others or even from yourself? Perhaps it's a fear of failure, a deep-seated anger, or a persistent envy. Maybe it's a passion or desire you've convinced yourself is impractical or wrong. What if these aspects of yourself weren't flaws to be eradicated, but messages waiting to be understood? Carl Jung believed that by confronting our shadow, we can integrate it into our conscious awareness, leading to what he called individuation, a process of becoming whole. This isn't easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to step into the unknown, but the rewards are immeasurable. Jung described individuation as the journey of discovering who you truly are, not just the persona you show to the world, but the complete and authentic self that includes both light and shadow. He argued that our greatest growth comes not from rejecting our shadow, but from embracing it. Consider this. Every hero in mythology faces a moment of confrontation with their own darkness. Think of the Greek hero Hercules, who had to face not only external monsters, but also his own rage and flaws. Or Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, who had to confront the darkness within himself before he could truly become a Jedi. These stories mirror our own psychological journeys. The question is, are you willing to take that first step? Are you ready to look at the parts of yourself you've been running from and ask, what are you trying to teach me? Jung's philosophy teaches us that our shadow isn't an enemy, but a guide. It whispers to us through our dreams, our fears, and even our relationships. Have you ever had a recurring dream or felt an inexplicable pull toward a particular idea or person? These may be signs of your shadow trying to communicate. The process of working with your shadow begins with awareness. Pay attention to the emotions and reactions that feel disproportionate or intense. These are often clues to the aspects of yourself that you've hidden away. Once you identify these traits, the next step is acceptance. This doesn't mean acting on every impulse or indulging every desire. It means acknowledging these parts of yourself without judgment and understanding their role in your life. Imagine how liberating it would be to no longer fear your flaws, but instead see them as tools for growth. Think of how much more authentic and confident you could become by embracing your whole self. In the coming sections, we'll delve deeper into how you can identify and integrate your shadow. We'll uncover practical steps for turning what feels like darkness into light, and explore how this integration can lead you to your life's purpose. And remember, the most profound insight is still to come. Stay with us, because by the end of this journey, you'll have a roadmap not only for understanding your shadow, but for using it as a guide to your destiny. Let's continue this journey into the depths of your inner world and uncover the extraordinary potential that lies within. Let's dive deeper into the mysterious world of the shadow and unravel how understanding this hidden aspect of yourself can unlock not only your purpose, but also a profound sense of inner peace. The shadow manifests in countless ways. It can appear in our habits, our relationships, and especially in our reactions. Have you ever experienced an emotional outburst and wondered later why you reacted so strongly? That moment where emotion seems to overtake reason is often your shadow revealing itself. But why does the shadow have such power over us? Jung believed that it stems from its unconscious nature. The more we deny or suppress an aspect of ourselves, the more control it gains, in a sense. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The more force you use, the more violently it resurfaces when you can no longer keep it down. Now think about this. If you could bring that hidden part to the surface and understand its origins, how much more control would you have over your life? How much freer would you feel? One of the most compelling examples of shadow work is the idea of projection. Jung argued that when we disown parts of ourselves, we often see those traits in others, amplifying our reactions to them. For instance, if you struggle with feelings of inadequacy, you might criticize others who seem overconfident or dismiss those who excel in areas where you feel insecure. This isn't just a psychological quirk, it's a mirror. The world reflects back to us the parts of ourselves that we have yet to acknowledge. Jung explained it this way: knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who triggers a strong emotional response? Perhaps it's a colleague, a friend, or even a family member. Instead of focusing on their behavior, ask yourself, what does this reaction reveal about me? What part of my shadow am I projecting onto them? This isn't about self-blame, it's about self-discovery. Each projection is an opportunity to reclaim a piece of yourself and bring it into the light of awareness. Let's take this concept further by exploring how the shadow relates to our purpose. Often the parts of ourselves we suppress are closely tied to our unique gifts and passions. For example, someone who suppresses their creativity out of fear of failure may find that embracing this suppressed side leads them to their life's work. Jung believed that purpose isn't something we find externally, it's something we uncover internally. It's about aligning with our authentic self, which includes both the light and the shadow. In his words, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But how do we begin this process of alignment? It starts with self-inquiry. Ask yourself questions that challenge your assumptions about who you are. What do I fear most about myself? What have I been told is unacceptable about me? What passions or dreams have I abandoned because they felt impractical or unworthy? Write these down. Reflect on them. You might be surprised at what emerges when you give your shadow a voice. Another powerful tool for shadow work is journaling. Jung himself kept extensive journals, using them to explore his unconscious mind. He often encouraged his patients to write down their dreams, as dreams are a direct line to the unconscious. In your dreams, whether it's a phrase, an image, or even an event, pay attention to recurring themes or symbols and ask yourself, what message might my unconscious be trying to convey? Now, let's consider the transformative power of integrating the shadow. Imagine a painter who refuses to use dark colors in their work. Their paintings may be beautiful, but they lack depth and contrast. When we embrace our shadow, we become like an artist who uses the full spectrum of colors, light and dark, to create a masterpiece. Integration doesn't mean acting on every dark impulse or letting the shadow dominate your life. Instead, it means understanding and accepting these aspects as part of your humanity. This acceptance fosters compassion, not only for yourself, but also for others. You begin to see that everyone carries a shadow, and this shared experience connects us on a profound level. The journey to embrace your shadow is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong process. It requires patience, courage, and a commitment to self-growth. But the rewards are immense. You gain clarity about your purpose, a deeper sense of inner peace, and the ability to live authentically. And here's a critical insight. Your purpose isn't just about you. Jung believed that our individuation contributes to the collective unconscious, the shared pool of human experience. When you confront your shadow and align with your true self, you don't just transform your own life, you inspire and elevate those around you. In the next section, we'll explore the practical steps to integrating your shadow into your daily life. We'll discuss how embracing this hidden side can lead to healthier relationships, greater creativity, and a life that feels truly aligned with who you are. The most profound truth is yet to come. Stay with us as we uncover the ultimate revelation about your shadow and how it holds the key to your destiny. As we journey further into the depths of Jungian philosophy, let's focus on how to apply the insights of shadow work in everyday life. Understanding your shadow is a powerful start, but true transformation comes through integration. This is the bridge between awareness and action, where you begin to weave your hidden aspects into the fabric of your being. One of the first steps in this process is practicing radical self-honesty. This means looking at yourself without filters or excuses. It requires courage to admit, yes, I feel jealousy, or yes, I sometimes judge others unfairly. But here's the key. Self-honesty isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Think about it like cleaning a cluttered room. You can't organize or make use of the space until you first acknowledge the mess. In the same way, you can't integrate your shadow until you recognize its presence. A practical way to begin this practice is by paying attention to your emotional triggers. The next time you feel a strong reaction, whether it's anger, fear, or even excessive admiration, pause and ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? What does this situation reveal about me? Is there a part of myself I'm projecting onto this person or event?